Welcome to HR Electrical. In today's video, I'm going to discuss the difference between the relay and the contactor. By the end of this video, you will have the clear concept regarding the contactor and relay. At the end of this video, I will give you a real industrial example that will give more clarification where to use contactor and where to use relay. Now, before we get further, let's discuss why people get confused. Relay and contactor, they are same. There are a couple similarities between them which make them appear to be the same, but when it comes to the real industrial application, their function are very different. So let's talk about the similarities first, why people get confused between the contactor and the relay. So let's discuss the first similarity, which is the working principle of a contactor and a relay. They both work on the principle of the electromagnetic induction, which means they have a coil, both relay and the contactors, which needs to energize. When it energized, it transfer the power to the transformer, which is a small tiny transformer inside the relay, and it make the switches to transfer from normally open to normally closed contact. Now let me show further in details just a brief introduction of electromagnetic induction, how relay works. So if I open this relay up, you can see there is a small tiny transformer inside the relay. Same transformer is inside this contactor as well. So what happen is, when we energize the coil, means give power to this transformer, so this set of contacts, it get transferred from one position to another. When the power is applied to this transformer, it creates electromagnetic waves around it. Because of that, this metal, it get pulls back, and this switch transfer from normally open to normally closed. So that's the working principle of the contactor and the relay. So they both work on the principle of electromagnetic induction, which make them to be appear similar. Now the another reason why they both appear to be similar, they have a certain contacts which are normally open and normally closed, and contactor have as well as the same contacts, normally open contacts and normally closed, or depend on more additions of the auxiliary contacts on the side. So they both have certain sets of the contacts which either normally close or normally open, which make them to be appear similar. So these are the two main basic similarities between a contactor and a relay. The first one is the working principle, and the another is a certain sets of the contacts between them, so which people think they work in the same way. Now let's discuss on the difference which make them separate apart from each other. So if you look on the main difference between the contactor and the relay comes to the technical specifications. If you look on the relay, it's used for a light loads. So let me show you the description on the relay. If you look on the relay, so you can clearly see it only supports up to 8 amps, and you can only transfer maximum voltage of 250 volts. Whereas if you look on the contactor, if you look on the label on the contactor, you will see it supports multiple voltage and can go up to 600 volts, and it supports up to 30 amps. So which clearly shows that the contactor is used for heavy transfer loads, whereas the relays are designed for small light loads. So if I have to use, let's say for example, if I have an electrical motor which draws like a 20 amps, I won't be able to use the relay for that application. The relay have a certain limits, it can only handle up to 250 volts, and I cannot energize my 600 volt motor with this relay. So then contactor comes into the place. So this contactor can support up to 600 volt, and I can easily I can easily energize my motor through the contactor. Now the another thing is which make them separate, the contactor are like robust in a design and are built for a high power loads such as like motor, heater, large lighting system, whereas the relays on the other hand are designed for low power circuit, and they may handle up to like a maximum control of the 10 amps. If you see on this relay, there is another relay, so it says it can handle the amperage of 10 amps, and the maximum volt that can be switched to the contact is 250 volts. So I'm not able to transfer more power than this. So now these are the This is the main difference between the relay and the contactor. Now let's talk about real industrial example that will give the more illustration of the relay and the contactor. Now for this example, I'm using the PLC. That's the industrial PLC connected to the contactor and the relay motor, and we have a tank. And we have simple application where the motor transfer the water from this tank to somewhere else in the plant. So if you guys have watched this video so far, please subscribe my channel as it helps us to motivate and put more new content each week. Now let's see the detailed example wiring of this components. So now you can see here the PLC is connected to the relay and the contactors. So how the relay and contactor works for this application is, so this motor is rated for 12 amps and is rated for 600 volts, and this contactor can handle up to 18 amps, and this relay can handle up to 6 amp max and is rated for 250 volts. So if we compare this volts and the amps with the relay, clearly the relay is undersized for this motor. So in this case we will use the contactor to power up this motor, and we cannot use relay to power up this motor. So that's the limitation of the relay as compared to the contactor. Now let's take another example where we have a water heater which pulls 4 amps and works on 110 volts. So this specification is supported by with the relay. Now you can see the 4 amps can be supported by this relay because this relay is rated for 6 amp, and its voltage is rated for 110 volts and 250 volts the relay is rated for. So this relay can clearly power up this water heater. Now same, this water heater can also be energized with the help of this contactor, but contactor will do the job to energize this water heater. But when it comes to terms of saving the money and finance, this contactor will cost you maybe like a couple $100, whereas this relay is maybe, let's say, 10 to $20, right? So if 10 to $20 component can do the job, nobody will like to go to spend like $100 to get the same job done. So basically relay and the contactor, it really depends on the application, what are the specification of the component that is being used, is matches with the volts, and the as long as the component used is under the rating or matches with the rating whatever is written on the relay and the contactor, they both will work for their individual applications. Thank you for watching this video. Please do subscribe my channel.